So we have created a system that you solicit a review from your clients. There are many ways to do it. And then through those questions, we know whether the client is happy
Right.
or not happy.
Right.
If they're happy, they go to Google, everywhere is cool. If we detect that you are not happy,
Mhm.
that information with your number or your email will go directly to the owner. Then you can contact them and try to fix the problem.
Yes. Before it
Right?
goes to Google.
Yeah.
Wow, then I'm Sean Gold, today's guest on Tool Thinker.
Would allow me to let go of my 9-to-5 job.
Let's dig a little bit deeper. Who do we really want to target here? And that's where you live.
Sometimes.
If you love long night, then be a startup founder. Just do it. Take the leap.
I always said it, the boss, even for the money that we were earning.
You have to pivot or else you'll run out of money.
Okay. Jose, welcome to Tool Thinker, Jose.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the invitation.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm fine. I'm in Florida, and it's sunny as usual. We're having fun here. Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're just going to start off with just a bit of information about your background, how you came to start working with startups.
Yes, yeah. Okay, background. So I had a professional training in philosophy, nothing like this. And then I went into graduate school for public policy. And I got that. And kind of moved more into non-for-profit and advocacy. I worked for a while in Washington, D.C. But even right there in the non-for-profit that I was working and the advocacy group, I had to be very entrepreneurial, right? We were doing something new, a different topic. It was more like immigration in Washington, D.C. 20 years ago. It's different from now. And you had to wear a lot of hats. I was the ED, the executive director of this non-for-profit in Washington, and I learned a lot of tricks, right? Then out of the blue, I got this offer from a bank in Manhattan, New York. They wanted to do something with the migrant population that I was working with, and they want to create a bank for migrants in New York. And then, wow, I don't know anything about business. And that was my MBA, if you may.
Right.
It was very interesting diving in New York with banking. They give me a title, whatever. And then I was into the community, learning small businesses, how to lend to them, migrant populations and local population. And I began my journey of developing actual business tools. I remember we talk about, we developed a card that you can transfer money to someone back home, back in Latin America and Africa, whatnot. And then that's how I began into this. I'm just giving you a overview. And from that, then after my banking phase, I just been doing coaching, business development for the last, I don't know, it's going to be almost 20 years now. So that is kind of a background. And then we may talk about that later, but I do advising, but from time to time, I also develop my own projects, usually in the SaaS space, application for concrete needs.
Right. So is there any startup projects that you're working on right now?
Yes, I am working on kind of it's called Dunbar, Dunbar. It's inspired on this theory that human beings only have 150 relationships. So this is this anthropologist from Oxford in UK that said human beings, we only have the mental capacity to have 150 meaningful relationships.
Right.
That has only a little bit to do with what the project that I'm working on is doing, but the inspiration was how could we increase our relationship, right? And learn from our groups, right? Actually, the website is called 100 Dunbar because the theory, and people could Google it, is the Dunbar number. And the Dunbar number is the whole theory about your relationship, human relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I took the name, and actually I spoke with the author, the person in UK that developed this, and I said, "Could I use your name?" And he said, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cool. What is this about?" Well, it's about business, and what we are developing is a way for small businesses to have a better online reputation and relationship with their customers. So
Right.
again, the word, relationship, and we are trying to go after or serving the very tiny small business owners,
Mm-hmm.
single owner, single location, mom and pop. I don't know how they call it in Canada, right? But the single one,
Right.
from a plumber to a restaurant, a small restaurant, right? And they want to have good online reputation,
Mm-hmm.
and usually Google Maps and stuff. And then so they want good reviews from clients, and we could dive a little bit into that. And then in the process of learning about this idea of businesses needing to have a way to manage their reviews, right? We learn
Mm-hmm.
a few tricks, and we are building a solution around how to help them and how to avoid bad reviews, if you may.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you took the thesis where we were saying that, human beings can only have 150 meaningful relationships, and you're kind of applying that to businesses?
Yeah, that may be the case. Yes. It's like you want a strong relationship with your clients, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that a business will have only 150 clients, but that is the idea, that you need to have good, important relationship with your clients. And then we're doing a twist on
Mm-hmm.
the big thesis
Right.
to apply to the relationship that you have. Either you are selling food, or you are selling a service, or a specific product. You need to have a customer relationship in the right way. So we are applying big ideas to very concrete small business
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
owners. Yeah.
Right. And what are some of the areas that you tackle with your project? Like, is it online reviews? Is it how do you manage the online reputation?
Right. Well, first is like a number that is important to remember. 85% of all online reviews and online reputation are in one platform, and that is
Hmm.
Google, right?
Okay.
There,
Okay.
there are others. Facebook is important for some niche business. If
Yeah.
someone is listening, say, okay, no, I will not be in Facebook because it's very small. No, maybe it's very small overall, but maybe for your business it's important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you are in the hospitality industry, trip advisory is a very niche one. If 5% of all the reviews are about that, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe for a specific business is the one to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for more retail businesses and service businesses that could have an address, and even
Mm-hmm.
Google has changed that a little bit, have a local market, then you can claim a name on Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, you just solicit request reviews from people, right?
Right.
So that is important. And then we have developed our solution at this phase, only focus in that 85% of the market, right?
Yeah.
Because most businesses will start there. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just a footnote. There are other services that collect reviews and provide that service.
Mm-hmm. So your business is more the technology facilitation.
We are not another board of collecting reviews. There's a process between you. Let's say you have a restaurant, right? And you have a customer, and the customer is happy with your service.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. And they say, hey, could you give me a review on Google, right? And people will need to open their Google Map. They
Mm-hmm.
will need to find your address.
Mm-hmm.
They will need to click 3 times to get to the right place that they're going to actually give you a review or
Mm-hmm.
a star. So there's a lot of friction, they call it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But if they're happy, you're happy, good reviews, if they're lucky to get to the place, right?
Yes.
But how about if they are not happy? If you can tell that this client, I don't know if I want a review from this one, right?
Right.
So then that is a problem, because maybe they will, "Oh, I'm so mad about this service, this restaurant is bad, or this plumber or whatnot." What they do, they go to Google, because it's the biggest one, and they write a bad review. I have learned that people come from a positive side. Let me explain. They had a bad experience at the restaurant. They don't want anyone else to have the same experience.
Right. Right.
So it's a kind of public service, right? Right. You can see it that way. You know, people. There are people that are malicious, like you're my competition, right?
Right.
And
Right.
Google has actually ways to control for that, right? If you can prove that a review was ill-intended, a review was from a client that never visited your shop or never had an experience, and then there are ways to do it. But let's say that you have a service, you provide a service, and a client will write a review. They are not happy, and then will write a bad review. 1 star, this restaurant is bad. The restrooms are horrible. The service was horrible. Right? You're a business person, right? And you say, maybe that person is right, maybe it's not. Either way, I don't want that one review on my Google reviews, right?
Right.
Most people come to us, hey, could you take that one review down?
Right.
And that is not possible.
Right.
At least it's not magically possible. Like, you need to actually create a case, contact Google,
Yes.
wait for them, and then sometimes they change it, sometimes they not. The better option is actually to connect with the client.
Right. Right.
What most people do, a business owner, they have an access to the review, and they will say, could you write me back? I'm so sorry with what happened. I want to fix it. Here's my email. Or call this number and talk to Jose, right? Nobody actually replied to that. I just gave my bad review. I don't have a way to, I'm not interested in follow-up, right? The problem is that in either case, the problem will not be fixed. So we decide, we have created a system that you solicit a review from your clients. There are many ways to do it. A text, a QR code, an actual solicitation at the moment of the service. And then they don't go directly to Google. They go to a process, a customer survey. You will learn about the client. And then through those questions, we know whether the client is happy.
Right.
Or not happy.
Right.
If they're happy, they go to Google, everybody's cool. And we actually give them the actual page that you will write that review. You don't need to guesstimate, like, what is the star, what is the the box to give the review. The system, from a QR code to a set of questions to Google. Very simple.
Yes.
If we detect that you are not happy, then we take you first to a form that you complete, and it's a complaint form. It's a suggestion box, right? That information with your number or your email will go directly to the owner.
Yes.
So now you see what happened. Now, the person already write a review, a bad comment. That goes to you as an owner, and then you can contact them and try to fix the problem.
Yes. Before
Right?
it goes to Google.
Yeah. They still go to Google. I don't have a way to stop them. Actually, Google prohibit companies like us to sort people out. You need to give equal chance to the customer, right? If Google realize that you are using a system just to delete the bad reviews, Google will penalize you.
Right.
Will penalize us.
Right.
So, but the beauty is, like, we try to minimize the people that actually go to Google to write a bad review, because we allow them to contact you as a business owner, right? So that is one of the little things. That is the one that is more public in our set of tools, and we are building the whole ecosystem around that. We, again, I said before, we are trying to go after serving the small business owner. There are systems that are highly rich and complicated, very pricey. We are about 80% cheaper than most of these big systems.
Mm-hmm.
But they are laptop based. We are mobile based, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they are developed for multi-location. Let's think that you have a franchise,
Mm-hmm.
or you are renting cars,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have many locations, right? You are a plumber with different service in different cities, and then you want every representative to have a different profile. So for those multi-location services, there are other businesses that you pay $300 a month
Mm-hmm.
per location to have that
Mm-hmm.
service. We
Mm-hmm.
try to tailor to a more smaller operator.
Right, right. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very smart. I think it's
Yeah.
very smart. And I think it's very needed because online reputation, I mean, the more things move digital, is the more that online reputation is probably going to be even more important than the physical reputation, right? Because people
Right.
are just going to be buying so much online. And the possibility of scaling online is much more than the physical, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you monitor that one. Because I've seen in businesses like, when they go on Amazon and write bad stuff, everybody starts panicking, like what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So it is a problem right now that I think you've definitely found a niche
Yeah.
that's needed, and I mean it's limitless where your business can scale to, I believe,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
refine your business. But I want to go back to the starting of, how you came about with this idea. So was it like you were reading an article or a book, you said?
Well, this specific idea, yes, it was inspired on that theory, the Dunbar number, right?
Right.
I always been around retail, right?
Yeah.
The solution that I have built in the past, from doing retail banking, right, a few years ago, to start developing SaaS product for small businesses.
Right.
Before the one that I'm developing right now, I invested a lot of time developing a B2B, B2C kind of platform.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, we were connecting businesses with clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they were serving. And we were trying to do a delivery system for them. We focus in New York. In New York, there are these small grocery stores. There are
Mm-hmm.
11,000 of them in the whole city of 8 million people.
Mm-hmm.
And happen to be that half of those stores are owned by people from my country of origin, Dominican
Mm-hmm.
Republic. So I
Mm-hmm.
had a connection there, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I remember visiting them and learning about something that they do. They take orders. You call them
Mm-hmm.
or through WhatsApp. Hey, could you take me a milk? And maybe they have a informal delivery system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we could dive into the business model of that more, but that's why I began to create a solution for them to do this informal delivery process into a
Mm-hmm.
more formal application that they could get requests from the neighborhood and make a meaningful delivery, right?
Right. Right.
So I spent a few years on that. Then I took a break, went back to my coaching and consulting, and then somehow I say, when you are an entrepreneur, you always are thinking, what is the next thing? What is the next idea?
Right.
And then
Right.
I found myself like a compulsive reviewer.
Yeah.
Like I go to every single place that I go drive, and then even Google give you, okay, you were in this office. Would you review them?
Right.
Right now, they actually push you to write a review. But I
Mm-hmm.
love it, and it's like what I was saying before. I feel like it's a kind of a public service that I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
experiencing something, I like
Yeah.
it, and sometimes you go to a good restaurant. It's a small, people are struggling and whatnot. And what could I help them? I could buy
Yes.
stuff, but how
Right.
about if I write a good review? And I am one of those guys that take a picture of the
I
plate,
see. I see.
and then
I see.
it's just, this is a way for me
There's
to
some passion
socialize.
there. There's
Yeah,
some amount of passion in the review area.
right. And then from that, I said, well, how could I help them, right?
Yes.
And then connected with this anthropological theory, I say, let me dive into that. And then when you dive into a problem, and the problem is businesses, they don't want bad reviews, because bad reviews, there is this study that say 1 star less than your competition represent 9% of your business less.
Wow.
Right. It was done
Yes.
way back ago. I haven't seen an update. It was like 5 years ago, just before the pandemic. But it tells you a little bit. You are a cafeteria. You have another cafeteria in front. If you have 1 star less than your competition, you are selling
Yes.
9% less. Right.
It makes sense. I mean, when people come on the website, they do I look at the stars.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah,
even if, say, for example, I see 5-star versus 4-star at the same price, there's no way I'm going to choose the 4-star. No way.
Correct.
No way. Okay? So
Yeah.
those stars are very important. They're definitely driving revenue. Okay,
Yeah.
so you had a passion in that era. So when you realized that you wanted to dive into this problem, like, what did you do? Like what do you use any tools to help you with your thought process?
Well, I create, it was funny. Like, I began with family and friends. I create a Google form. And the story goes this way. For 10 days, I sent 5 questions to my family and friends. I collect like
Okay.
50 of them.
Right.
And every morning they need to answer questions. It was not about selling anything on a product.
Yes.
It was more general questions. But I wanted to know how my tribe, my
Yes.
150 people think about issues. So it was everything about the weather, the economy, politics, religion, right? And then after 10 days, I collected everything and create like a profile. This is what my tribe is about. That is very connected to that
Yes.
idea, right? And then people from my circle say, Jose, maybe you're after something. Keep pushing for that, right? So that was kind of a hobby. The next step is I start, thinking, okay, what is a business around this, asking questions to people and whatnot. And I hire a developer, and I said to him, listen, I'm going to spend very little amount. I just want something basic to test this idea of asking questions to people. Period, right? And I'm still in contact with that person. We have another team now, but yeah, I put a couple of $100. They were eager to get higher. It was a very kind of low level junior kind of coder, but worked for both of us. And I had this tool, and then you go to in my case, you go to the App Store, and you need to register and upload your application, or to Google Play. So that process, you need to pay $100 a year for a subscription. Well, not now, it's less, but anyhow. And then I had the application. Wow, it's like a new kid, right? And then you brag around, and then you start testing it, right? What has followed after that is understanding 2 things. What is the solution that I'm building, and what is the customer that is willing to pay for that.
Right.
For example, I thought that this was for teachers first.
Yes.
Teachers that wanted to ask questions to their students.
Okay.
I got a few. We tested with about 10 friends that I have that are teachers, and it was interesting. I was selling this as a way of, listen, if you want to know your group, use my app. It's the easiest way from your phone to create a question. It's still today, and that part is still in the app. It's free. If you want to ask questions, like let's say you, right, with your podcast, right? You want to know about what they think about this show. At the end of the show, you can have a QR code made from my app. It's actually free, that section.
Right.
And people will scan the QR code and will give you a review of this podcast, right?
Right.
It became popular for some reason in radio stations in Latin America. Yeah.
And how did it get that far? How?
Well, I built it bilingual.
Yes.
And then I had a few friends that I was just trying. I have this tool to ask questions.
Yes.
It's free. tried teachers, I tried businesses, right? Businesses that didn't click on that. The tool wasn't ready for them, or was not tailored to them. And then I got some friends, and because the app is Spanish, people were searching for that online, and I got one radio station, another radio station. What is this? And the radio station, they have these programs that you can call in. Hey, what is your opinion of whatever, right? And the people call in, right? And then I went to them and said, listen, could you want to ask like a question that they go to your website or to social media, and they could answer the question of the day, right? And people were attracted to that, and I got some traction. But then it was an issue of how I'm going to monetize this, right? Teachers were using it, radio station, a newsletter for a friend, a non-for-profit locally here in Central Florida where I'm living. But it wasn't like a lot of people. And then I was not able to monetize this in any way. Then the next step was, okay, who is willing to pay for asking questions? That's why I start focusing on businesses. And I found this solution, right? And then, there's always like, you have this idea and you give it for free. People for free get anything tested. But those are not your real clients.
Right.
Those are your friends and family, right?
Yeah.
The challenge is if people are willing to pay.
Then you have a business. No pay, there's no business, right?
Yeah. And then I'm still in that process of learning who is willing to pay for this.
Right.
One example, from that app for questions only free, we start developing this app that also has this idea of you collecting information from your customers, right? And I thought, I know the real customer for this. Small, single owner restaurants. Those are the one. I'm busy. I have this one shop. I know that by having a restaurant, I'm on Google, whether I create it or not. Google created for me. People are giving review, and I have no control on that. And okay, so let me create a way from your cell phone, not from your laptop, because you need to take a break to open your laptop in your restaurant. Why not? You're so busy. So something very simple from your cell phone that you can control and enhance that process.
Okay.
And took me like 6 months to build this in the way that it is right now, or the core. Because I had a restaurant, they tested it. Oh, I don't like this. The next one, oh, I like it, but it's not working in Android. Oh, so I need to build an Android platform. Oh, it's iOS, it's iPhone, but it's not working from my iPhone 15, right? And then you start tweaking stuff. I got problems. I'm going to be very technical in this, but that could give you an idea of how you got the concept, but you need to go to people are in the restaurant and they are using my Wi-Fi in the restaurant. But the Wi-Fi in the restaurant has an IP address. We were preventing people from answering twice, so they don't cloud or or create a bias on the responses. So sometimes it's Matt will be in your restaurant, will answer several times, right? That's one person, but you got 5 reviews, right? So we have to tweak the technology so it will not depend on the IP of the restaurant. The connection
IP of the
on
phone.
the cell phone, right? It's just a minor thing, but oh man, it gave me
Took
so
some
much
time.
problem
Yes.
to create that. That is one thing. And then what I was going to go before is this. I thought that was restaurants. And then we say, okay, let's do it out, go and try to put some marketing budget into this. I start with Meta, Facebook, Instagram. And then we start getting people downloading the app. No restaurant. Even one of the ads say, if you're a restaurant, download this.
Yeah.
Then we got 1-2 restaurants. Actually, we have enough to... I have a dialogue. I have a WhatsApp chat with only restaurant owners because they are teaching me a lot. When they care about you, they say, okay, you are beginning. I have this restaurant. Let me, so they help you out. incredible. I have this guy. I'm going to make him my investor. He's a owner of an Indian restaurant here in Tampa. He called me like every week. Hey, what's going on? What is the new thing about your app? And oh my God, like, it's interesting when you find those people, those customers, right?
Yes.
But then I start getting the different clients, plumbers, landscapers, salons, beauty parlors, a small hotel. I got the first time that I got one. And someone, what is this? What, it's a small inn. I remember in Arkansas. And the lady called me, I want this, and we talk a lot. I'm still in contact with her. So anyhow, I began seeing that the product that I was building wasn't that much for a restaurant, or not at this moment. There are other people that are not being served by other solutions, and they are diving to you. And the happy part, they are willing to pay.
Yes.
So we are in that phase of creating the critical mass to have like more traction.
Yes.
Understanding the client, fine tuning. We always, if you have an application, in this case a SaaS, but in any business, you always need to tweak it as you go.
Pivot. You did a lot of pivoting, which is not unusual for a startup, right?
Pivoting is like a radical change. It's just an improvement.
Yes.
At some point where you say, I'm selling clothing, and I need to sell books. That is a pivot, right? You are actually.
Yes.
But if you are improving the type of books that you're selling,
right.
I'm in this stage, right? Not pivoting in that big way,
right?
But listening to the client. We talk off camera about knowing the books, but knowing reality. For me, I knew and advise people, listen to people, learn from your clients. But in my last two ventures, I didn't do it.
Yes.
And this time is okay. They're going to guide me.
Right.
I'm having a lot of fun. It's it slow? There are people that want, I want to make it big. No, you need to listen slowly, to people.
Yes.
And sometimes you get a suggestion. I want this color of this button in the app. Well, you're one person. Should I do it? Should I not do it? And you start, But then if you keep getting the same kind of suggestion for other people, maybe there is something there that you need to pay attention to, right? So yeah.
No, that's very interesting. Thanks for walking us through that. I mean, it's good to see how you took this from just an idea, to the point where it is now, where it's about to take off.
Yeah.
No, good job on that. So Jose, where can people reach you?
My name Jose Bello, JoseBello, and then you put it on LinkedIn, and you will find my profile. It's the easiest way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm big into LinkedIn, and so LinkedIn actually is LinkedIn /Jose Bello, one word, but people just could Google it, put LinkedIn and my name. That is the best way to do it, and you will see there how to contact me, write to me. You will see my email and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay, great. Jose, I want to thank you for coming through, sharing your information and your experience with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for this, and I'm here anytime.
Good. Thank you, Jose. Cool.
Bye-bye.